Welcome to this channel. My name is Omolade Adeyemi. I remain your fashion teacher, the CEO of Blouse Design. In this channel, we are going to be taking you different trainings on pattern drafting. We are going to base on pattern drafting, purely pattern drafting. And today's training is going to be how to draft your basic blouse. This is called basic blouse. This is the front pattern. You can see this is the front style, this is the style, this is the front part, and this is the back. You can see this is the back. This training is going to be divided into 5 sections. The first one is how to take your blouse measurement, how to draft your blouse pattern, how to cut out your pattern, how to cut it on fabric, and how to sew your blouse. Our days of training is going to be Mondays and Tuesday, while we're going to have a flashback of our previous training on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Friday, while our live chat is going to be for Saturdays and Sunday. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we would love you to drop your comments under the comment sections. Ask your questions, which is very important, your observations, and also extend your love to us by liking and sharing this video. Thank you. Bye. Hello, my name is Adeyemi Omolade. I'm the CEO of Blouse Design. So the next topic we are going to treat today is the basic blouse pattern. What we are going to use is our brown paper. You can get the white one. You get the rule, tape measure, the scissors, our marker, and the ruler. Basically, you should draft any kind of pattern with pencil. But for you and I to see it clearly, especially for you out there to see it clearly, that was what I'm going to use my marker. So let's get started. So before we start, the measurement parameters for my blouse, for blouse pattern, is the blouse length. The blouse length, which my blouse length is 26. The blouse length, the bust, which is my bust is 39. The waist, my waist is 34. The waist, the hip, I'm going to use the hip. We need the hip measurement for this blouse, which is 44. The shoulder, we have the shoulder 1, which is 16. We have the shoulder 2, which is 15. I have the shoulder 3, which is 15. So we have the apex. My apex is 6.5. My apex is 6.5. So what else? The armhole. Sorry, we have a lot of measurements for just this blouse. So the armhole, my armhole is 19.5. So we have the side length. The side length is, my side length is 6. The shoulder slants. The shoulder slants. My shoulder slant is 5. So those are the measurement parameters for blouse measurements. So those are the measurements. No, another last measurement we need, not the last measurement. So we have a lot. Sorry about that. We have the shoulder to waist, which my own shoulder to waist is 16.5. We have shoulder to nipple, which is, mine is 10.5. We have shoulder to underbust, which mine is 14.5. So those are the measurements for blouse pattern. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is to take the blouse, the blouse length, which our blouse length is 26. My blouse length is 26, so I'm doing that right now. Starting from the beginning of my paper, place your tape rule properly. So as you can see, my paper is full. I'm trying to trace it down and make my paper straight so that I'm not having any bulginess. So it's 26. I guess because I'm a little tall, this blouse is long for me, but it's okay. So our blouse length 26. I have 26. 26. I'm doing that all through the paper. So I have 26. So I'm rolling it out. I'm rolling it out. So that's the blouse length. So the next thing I'm going to take is my shoulder to waist, which is 16.5. I'm going to take that all through my paper. So I'm taking 16.5. I'm doing 16.5. 16.5. 16.5. 16.5. 16.5. 16.5. 16.5. 16.5. And I'm also drawing those out too. So that's my shoulder. Let me try and label it. So this is my blouse length. This is the shoulder to waist. This is my shoulder to waistline. So the next thing I'm going to take is my shoulder to nipple line. So I'm taking my shoulder to nipple, which I have 10.5. So I'm taking 10.5. 10.5. 10.5. 10.5. 10.5. I'm drawing the line out also. So that is the shoulder to nipple. So that's the shoulder to nipple. The next thing I'm going to do is to take my bust measurement, which is 39. For the front pattern now, starting with the front pattern, I'm going to divide my bust into 4 for the front and add 0.5 to my measurement because of my boobs. This is what we call the boobs, sorry. So, which is, the calculation will now goes thus: 39 divided by 4 plus 0.5. So I have 10.5 there as my front bust measurement. So I'm going to take the measurement from the upper part because I need a straight line to demarcate between the front and the back. So I'm going to take my 10.5 down to my blouse length, down to the blouse length. So I'm taking 10.5, 10.5, 10.5, 10.5, 10.5, 10.5, and 10.5. So I'm going to read that out also. So that is the bust measurement I just took. So the next thing I'm going to do is to start with my blouse. All these are just settings. So to start with my blouse. So first thing now is I'm going to take my shoulder 1 measurement. Shoulder 1, and my shoulder 1 is 16. So my shoulder 1 is 16. So my shoulder 1 is 16. So bust line. So my shoulder 1 is 16. What I'm going to do here is divide my shoulder 1 into 2. Basically, that's the way we take shoulder. So we're going to divide shoulder into 2. For the front, I'm going to minus 0.25 of my shoulder. So it's going to be 16 divided by 2 minus 0.25. So I have 7.75. So I'll come up here and take 7.75, which is 7 3/4. 7.75 down to my shoulder to nipple line. So 7.75, 7.75, 7.75, 7.75. So I'm going to draw the line. So that's the shoulder 1 line. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to come here and slant my shoulder. Basically, what we use in slanting our shoulder is 1.5. So I slant my shoulder by 1.5. So from that 1.5, I take my shoulder seam, which I have 5 inches as my shoulder seam. Shoulder seam is also shoulder slant. No, shoulder seam, sorry. It's shoulder seam. So I have 5 inches as my shoulder seam. Then I come here I slant it by 5 inches like this. So I want to try and draw the line down. Then I join the line with this together. So that's the shoulder seam. So the next thing I'm going to do, from the shoulder seam, I'll measure 4 inches down. I'll measure 4 inches down. This 4 inches will make me determine where my shoulder shaping is going to pass through. So I will know where my shoulder is going to pass through. So I'm going to come down here, take my 4 inches, mark it. So I'll come up here to have a straight line. I'll have this 1.5. The 1.5 I've measured here, plus the 4 inches, that is 5.5, because I want a straight line. So I'll mark 5.5. I'll mark 5.5. I'll mark 5.5 to get a straight line. So this is my line. So that's the 4 inches line that I just did. So on that line, I'm going to take my shoulder 2 measurement on that line. And here my shoulder 2 is 15. I have 15 as my shoulder 2. So I'll come here, measure my shoulder 2. So that 15, I'm going to divide my shoulder 2 into 2. So which is 15 divided by 2, we have 7.5. So I'm going to come here and measure 7.5 and mark it down. So that's my 7.5. So the next thing I'm going to do, all this I'm doing, this area that I'm treating, that I'm working on, is to shape out my armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come to the waistline, take 6 inches up. That is my side length. Take 6 inches up. You see the side length. This is the side length. I have 6 inches. So I'll come here and take 6 inches up my side. At the side of the bust, this is the bust line. So I'll come to the bust line. So place my tape rule on the waist. Then take 6 inches up. So I've marked. This is the 6 inches that I just marked. So that is my side length. So the next thing I want to do is to shape out my armhole. So I'm going to connect this line with this together to get my armhole. So watch me closely. Watch me closely. Watch me closely. So that is my armhole. Let me label that for you. My armhole. So that is the armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do, is to come here to measure my apex, which my apex here I said is 6.5. So I'm going to divide 6.5 into 2 on my tape measure. So 6.5 into 2. 6.5 into 2 on my tape measure. I have 3 1/4. I have 3 1/4. I have 3 1/4. So I have 3 1/4. So I think my apex here is 6. Sorry, where's the apex line? My apex line is 6.25, not 6 1/4. So that is 6 1/4. Not 6.5, sorry. I have 6 1/4. So that is my apex. Don't mind me. That's 6/1/4. That is quarter. So I have 6 1/4. So I'm going to divide 6 1/4 into 2. So which gives me 3.1 on my tape measure. So it's give me 6.1. I mean 3.1. So I'm going to come to my apex line, to shoulder to nipple line, take 3.1 down to my blouse length. So watch me the way I take it. 3.1, 3.1, 3.1, 3.1, 3.1, 3.1. So I'm going to roll it down. So that's 3.1. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my dart measurement. So we know, like I said, my dart is usually 1.25. So I divide 1.25. I'll divide 1.25, come to my waistline, and share it in between the apex line. So I come here, mark one here and one on the other side. So, and I'm going to construct my dart. Look at the way I construct the dart. I'm going to take the shape from the shoulder to nipple down to the waistline like this. Down to the waistline like this. Then shape it down to the blouse length like this. Like this. So that is our dart. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come to the waistline, take my shape. So I need to shape my blouse well. So I'm going to divide my waist into 4. I want to take my waist measurement. So my waist here is 34. So I'm going to take my waist measurement. So which is 34? I'm going to take 34 divided by 4. I'm calculating my waist measurement now, which is 34 divided by 4 plus my dart, which is 1.25 plus 1.25. So I have 9.75. So I'm going to come here on the waistline, take 9.75. That is 9 3/4. You can call it 9 3/4. And shape, mark the line. Mark the line, which is what I've done. So for the blouse length, I'm going to divide my hip into 4. I'm going to come here, divide my hip into 4 and take the measurement of my blouse length. So which I'm doing 44 divided by 4, I have 11. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to come here and measure 11. I'm going to come here and measure 11. So the next thing I'm going to do is to shape my measurement. So I need to shape it out. So I'm going to connect my line from the side length to the waist measurement to the hip line. So watch the way I shape. Watch the way I'm shaping it. Like this. I use the straight part. So I'm using the straight part to shape it out. You can see this side is having a little sharp edge. So I'll come here and use the curvy part to shape it back. So that has cleared up the sharp edge. So that is not all about the blouse. So I'll come here at the end of my blouse. I'll come here and measure. Most of the time, some people use 1 inch, some people use 1.5. It depends on your shape. But most of the time I prefer using 1.5 or 1.25. So it's just for a better shaping on your pattern. So I'm using 1.5. So I'm shaping. I'm taking 1.5 up from my bust line, from my blouse length line. I'm taking 1.5 up, 1.5 inch up to shape my blouse. So I'm shaping this way. Look at the way I'm shaping it to come out so beautiful. So that is the shaping. So I use this curvy part to shape it out. So that is my blouse length. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to construct my necklines. I'm going to give it the neckline I want. And I'm going to check if my armhole is exactly what I want. You know, like I said in my measurements, I said my armhole is 19.5. If I divide 19.5 into 2, what do I have? So 19.5 into 2, I have 9 3/4. So I'll come on my tape rule, on my pattern. I will check my measurement. If my measurement is up to 9 3/4, I leave it like that. Let me check. Let's check. Let's do that now. So I'm checking.
Wow. So it's a little more than what I want. So I think what I have here is 10 and quarter. What I have here is 10 and quarter. 10 and quarter, I need to reduce the armhole. Is more than what I want. Is much, is like ½ inch more than the armhole I want. So I'll come here, I'll raise this up a bit. I'll come to the side length line, raise this up a bit, then reshape the armhole. So I'm reshaping the armhole now to reduce, I'm reducing the armhole. That is what I'm doing here. So let me retake the measurement and let's see if we have what we want. Yes, we have what we want. This is 9 3/4. So we have 9 3/4, that is 9.75. So the next thing is to construct my neckline. I can give it any kind of neckline I want, but I think I love a cano neck. So I think I want to give it a cano neck. So let me give it a cano neck. Cano neck, cano neck, cano neck. Do I like a cano neck? Or I should give it a V-neck? You can decide. No, don't decide that for me. Let me give it a cano, no, a U-neck, sorry. Let me give it a U-neck. A U-neck. So I'm bringing it down by, I don't want it to be too low or too high. So let me give it 4 inches length. And let me give it 3 1/4, 3.75 wide. I don't want it to be too wide. I don't want it to be too wide. And I'm shaping my neck out. I'm shaping my neckline out like this. Sorry about that. Trying to adjust my speaker. I have a speaker around here. So
Hold on, please hold on. In case you don't know, we have an online fashion institute. We are going to teach you full pattern drafting training. We are going to take you from the scratch, how to use your machine, to the climax. You're going to be the best designers in town. For more information, visit our website on www.larichedesigns.com.
So that's my neck line. I love this. This is okay. So that's the neckline. So this is all about the front basic blouse pattern. So the next thing we are going to do now is to move to the back pattern. So for the back pattern, you know, we've extended the line. Our measurement, the hip measurement has made us, it has extend our measurement out, demarcation, the line demarcation with it. So we need to give it a straight line again. So I'm going to follow this hip measurement. What we have on this hip measurement, I'm going to take it up to give me the straight line I want, to demarcate, to separate in between, to separate the front from the back, because I need to do that. I don't want the front and the back to confuse you. So let me take the hip measurement here and draw a straight line. So I think for the hip measurements we have 11, so I'm going to take 11 up. I'm going to take 11 inches up to mark my straight line. So 11 inches. So I'm going to mark my line now to get a straight line. So the next thing should have been the blouse length. We've gotten it already. The waistline, which is here, and the shoulder to nipple. So since we have that, let's go straight to the blouse construction. So the next thing we are going to do is to take the bust measurement again. So which is, you know, when we wanted to take the bust measurements for the front, we did 39. My bust measurement is 39. We did 39 divided by 4. We added 0.5, which gives us 10.25, which is 10 and quarter. But for the back, we are going to minus that 0.5 from our measurement, from our bust measurement, which is going to give us 39 divided by 4 minus 0.5. And we have 9.25, which is 9 and quarter. So we're going to take 9 and quarter on our paper. So this is 9 and quarter. I'm going to start from the top. Nine and quarter. Nine and quarter. Nine and quarter. Nine and quarter. And quarter. So I'm drawing the line down. Why we are taking the bust measurements for the wideness, because that is the is not the widest part of the body, but it's the bust we are working on. So after that, we come back to our shoulder one. So we're going to take our shoulder one we're going to divide it by 2, which is, we have 16 as the whole measurement. So we're going to divide 16 into 2, which is going to give us 8. So we'll come here and measure 8 inches. So we come here and mark 8 inches. We'll mark it down to the shoulder to nipple line. You know, for the front, what we did is shoulder 1 divided by 2 minus 0.25. But for the back, we only did shoulder 1 divided by 2 at all. So I'm rolling that out. So the next thing is to take my shoulder slant. So my shoulder slant is 1.5. So my shoulder slant is 1.5. We take the shoulder slant, which is 1.5, and my shoulder seam, which is 5. I'll mark it out this way, and I'll use my ruler to draw it out like this and join this line together to give it my shoulder seam. So this is my shoulder seam, which is 5 inches. So that's my shoulder seam. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my 4 inches length, the way I did for the front. So I'm going to take my 4 inches down, which is this. Then I come up and not the 1.5 I did here, because I need a straight line. So I have to get my straight line for the shoulder 3 part. So I have 5.5. That gives me 5.5, sorry. So 5.5. And I draw out my line. So on this line, I'm going to take my shoulder 3 measurement on this line. So my shoulder 3 is 15 also. So for the front, we have shoulder 2. For the back, we have shoulder 3. So for the shoulder 3, like I said, I'm going to divide it into 2, which is 7.5. So I have 7.5 and mark it. So that's 7.5. Then come here to the waistline and take my side length. Like I said, my side length is 6 inches. So I take my side length and measure it. So the next thing I'm going to do there is to shape out my armhole. So the next thing is I'm going to shape out my armhole like this, to connect it from here to here to here. Or most times it's not a must you get to here. Might be at the middle here, it might come in between, you might move close, you might get to the points. So depends on your shaping, on the shaping you want. So I'll come here, connect the lines. Yes, and before I go further, I forgot to tell you, I made a mistake with my armhole here. So my armhole is 19 and I did 19 and a half, which is wrong. So I've corrected the armhole here for the front part, for the front pattern. So let me measure it so that you can see. My armhole is 19. So it's 19. So 19 divided by 2 is 9 and a half. 9 plus 9, 18. So we have 19. So we have 19 and a half. So which is this? We have 9 and a half, sorry, which is this. So which is this. So this is our new armhole, the one at the middle. So the one at the middle is our new armhole. That's about the armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do for the back here is to take the neckline. So before I can take the neckline, I need to measure the shoulder seam here. I'll take the shoulder seam here. I'll measure the shoulder seam here from this end to this other end. So to see what I have there. So I think I have 4 1/4. So I have 4 1/4. So I'll come here, I'll measure 4 1/4. I'll measure 4 1/4 because the shoulder seam has to be the same measurement. So I'll match 4 1/4 here. Then I can now give it my neckline. So I'll come down here. Let me make it 2 inches length. So I'm shaping. So I'm giving it a round neck, a U neck there. So I'm giving it a round neck here. So that is the neckline. That's the neckline. So the next thing I'm going to do is to slant my zip line, because most of the time when I leave it, most cases when you leave this part like this, the back part, the straight line, when you leave it like that, by the time you finish your blouse and fix the zip, it happens that you see the bulge. There is a bulgeness at that back that makes the back pattern, the back piece look bulge, and is not professional enough. So what I will do here is to come to my waistline, come in by 1/2 inch, come to the base also by 1/2 inch, then slant it down to the neckline part like this. Down to the neckline and down to the length of my blouse like this. So that has already given that we have already chopped off. It means I've slanted that SS because it's called SS. So because by the time you fix your zip and you have the bulge part is not really good enough. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to take my waist measurement for the back. So my waist is 34 divided by 4 plus 1.25 for the dart. So I have 9.75. So my 9.75 will be taken at this point, not from the straight line, after the shaping. So I'm taking my 9.75 like this. Then for the down part, that will be my hip divided by 4. My hip is 44 divided by 4. I have 11, so I'll take 11 like this. Then I'll shape it out. So I'm shaping from the side lengths to the waist and to the hip line. So shaping it like this, like this. So let me try and take away that curvy to make it curvy. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to shape the down parts. You know, we don't really want a straight blouse like that. So what I did here for the front, I come up by 1.5. So I'm going to do the same thing at the back too. At the back also. So I'm coming up by 1.5, then shape it out. Then before I round up, I still need to give it my back dart. So I've forgotten about that. So I'll come here, divide my apex into 2, which is 6.25. So I'll divide it into 2 to construct my dart. So I have 3.1. So I'll take my 3.1. I'll come here and make the straight line. Okay, 3.1 from here to the straight part, we have 3.6. Because if I try and measure 3.1 like this, we will not have a straight line. So we need to place our tape from the exact point down to the straight line, down to where we have the straight line, and is 3.6. So you try and measure 3.6 up your pattern down to the up to the shoulder to nipple line, 3.6. Then down to the main blouse length, so 3.6 like this, 3.6 and 3.6, yes. So then I'll give it a straight line. I'll give it a straight line, 3.6, sorry, 3.6, 3.6. Yeah, this is the line. I'll give it a straight line down. So then I'll construct my darts. So my dart is always 1.25. I divide my 1.25 into 2 and share it in between the waistline, like one here and the other here. Then construct our darts like this. Like this. So that is the dart. So the last but not the least thing is to come here and measure the armhole. If we have the 9 inches we're talking about, I'm sorry, if we have the 9.5 inches, because 19 divided by 2 is 9.5. Let's check. 19 divided by 2, we have 9.5. So this is 9.5 here, which is the middle. That's the front armhole. So we want to check if we have 9.5 for the back armhole also. So let's confirm together. Almost. So the next thing we'll do, we can come up here a little, and shape it back too. Shape it back. We measure. Yeah, we have 9.5 there. 9.5. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure this back. If I have my 4.25, I think I still have my 4.25. So for us to remind, I want to remind you of all the points, so I need to label each point so that you understand better. So this is the armhole. You should know that is the armhole. This is the armhole. This is shoulder 3. The shoulder 3 line. So this is the waistline. This is the waistline. It's already labeled here already, so it has extended to this. So this is our dart. This is the hip measurement we took. This is the hip measurement, which is the blouse length. The blouse length. So what else? So this is the zip area. I'll write it down here. Zip area. So that is the end of our basic blouse pattern. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you go through and ask your question. Thank you and bye.
Thanks for watching this video. We will appreciate if you keep watching every of our videos. And good news, there is going to be a giveaway at every point of our achievement. And we would love you to keep watching, keep subscribing if you're yet to subscribe to this channel. Give us that thumbs up. Keep commenting, ask your question on every of our videos. Thanks for watching. See you on our next video.